Oh, my cat's running all over the place. It's all wobbling around. Hello. It's Lindsay Setchell here. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Day 22. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of January. Day 22. I'm Lindsay Setchell. It's great to have you here for day 22. Let me just go live on Instagram. There we go. So today, on our new topic of helping owners to identify the things that are going on in the horse's hoof, we're looking at the 5 key signs of a healthy hoof. Knowing what a healthy hoof looks like, obviously, is very essential, isn't it? For every horse owner. Because by understanding those signs, what you're actually looking for, being able to discern between all of these things that you're looking at. So many people pick up a horse's hoof and they look down and they think, oh God. And too many people don't pick up the horse's foot. At least if you're picking it up and looking underneath, which is telling you stuff. If you're looking at a foot from the top and you're not looking underneath, because pretty much everything I'm going to talk to you about is underneath, then you're not going to be properly equipped really to spot potential problems early and ensure your horse is going to stay happy, comfortable, sound. So let me know in the comments what you think about hoof health. What's the first thing that you look for in hoof health? What would be your go-to? And I know I've ruined the lives of too many people where they go out in life and the moment they see a horse, they look straight down at the feet. They don't. That's it. I've ruined you. That's all you ever look at now. So share your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think defines hoof health for you. Okay, so let's do some shout outs. Sunshine's here, top of the shop. Hello from Tennessee. Jeanette's here. Hello from a wet northern France. Bonsoir. It's wet here. It was a lovely morning. Bright. Quite a lot of blue in the sky. A few fluffy clouds. Really nice. Not cold. Chucking it down this evening. Well, not chucking it down, but not nice. Heather Swithenbank's here. Hi, everyone. Garvin Ranch is here. Hello from Wisconsin. Connie Toire's here. Hello. Beautiful day here in the Rockies. You can imagine it now. Ulrika's here. Hello. Angie Medler's here from Virginia. Hello. Stella's here. Good morning, all. It very much so in the morning for you. Pia's here on Facebook. Hello. Dawn's here. Hi, lovely Phoenix friends. Georgie Williams. I think you're going to do it, Georgie. I think most of you, actually, a few of you, I think you're going to manage the 31 days in January, 365. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Georgie. Angela Garberg's here. Hello, Phoenix friends, and all from the south of France. Bonsoir. Favorite time of the day. Great topics. That's very nice of you. Very kind. Thank you very much. Marianne Caffrey's here. Hi, everyone. And Louise is back. What's wrong with you? What? That's at least 2 lives in the last few days. Are you feeling all right? Hi again. Just back from an Essex trip to see 7 sets of lovely feet. Awesome. Right. Okay. Let's get on with this. Let's get on with our. Are we on? Yeah, we are on Instagram. So we're looking at 5 key signs of a healthy hoof. Why recognizing healthy hooves is important. So I want to explain why identifying healthy hooves is essential, because recognizing a healthy hoof isn't just about peace of mind, is it? It's a very proactive way to make sure that your horse's overall well-being is being catered for. Because what do healthy hooves do? Well, healthy hooves will support sound movement. Oh, isn't that what every horse owner wants? Soundness. And even, it's quite funny because even when we have soundness, I think I ruin the lives, like I said, of so many people that they get so hung up on what's going on the foot. They forget that actually it's okay. The horse is sound. We shouldn't be worrying too much about what it looks like. Remember, aesthetics-driven trimming is not what we're about. A healthy hoof should allow the horse to move naturally. It should allow the horse to move comfortably over all surfaces. A healthy hoof should prevent injuries. Oh, And I see it over and over again. Strained, torn tendons, soft tissues, side bone, ring bone, arthritis, therefore, P3 being degenerating, incredibly painful, laminae tearing, navicular issues, DDFT issues, all of it, you name it, all because that healthy hoof that hasn't got a healthy hoof. It's not a case of recognizing the healthy hoof. The healthy hoof was long ago. Bye. That we haven't got a healthy hoof anymore if we're getting all of these kind of hoof injuries, foot, leg injuries. So preventing issues and injuries is really, really important. So if you know what a healthy hoof looks like, early recognition of changes can help you address potential problems, can't they, before they escalate. And a healthy hoof is the window to the soul. It reflects overall health because the condition of the hooves often mirrors the horse's general health, including their diet and the management. You've only got to look at rings, and that's a sign, a sure sign, not the shape of the rings, but how deep they are, how grooved they are. You've only got to look at those to see what is going on in the horse's body, in their gut, mainly. So when you know what to look for, you can absolutely be confident that your horse's hooves are in better shape, in good shape, or not. So you can take steps to improve them if needed. And I know that you guys that are all watching and you tune in daily now to watch this. Kathy Yorkshire Lass is on Instagram. It's good to see you. Oh, and I have to do a shout out to a very important person, a lovely person who has been following us for quite some time now. And she's very, very keen in what we do. And I was asked to do a birthday shout out for her, and that's Laurie. I've got her written here. Now, I was in such a rush yesterday, Laurie Robinson. I was in such a rush yesterday because I went off to see One Night of Queen. Some of you might have seen me put that up in the Phoenix group. That I had the note all here ready to wish you happy birthday, and I didn't even look down, and off we went. And then as soon as I got in the car, I remembered. So I'm late. It's a belated birthday wish. It's one day late. But I want to wish you happy birthday, Laurie. And together, we are going to change the world. So I'm sure everybody here will also help join me in wishing you happy birthday too. So that's Laurie Robinson. Happy birthday. Well done for following us. Awesome. Okay, where were we? We were looking at the 5 key signs of a healthy hoof. So let's look at each sign. Let's dive into these 5 signs of a healthy hoof. What do we want? We want a strong, not breaking, not cracking, not problematic, intact hoof wall. That's what we want. The hoof wall should be smooth, shouldn't it? It should be free from cracks. It should be free from chips. Although, occasionally, you're going to get the odd chip here and there, but that's okay. It should have a consistent texture. So many times we see hooves changing texture. It happens, and it's a lot to do with stresses that are going on in the body and, of course, the gut. Why is it important? Because the hoof wall provides the protection that the inside of the hoof needs. We don't want stuff getting in there. It needs to be hyper sealed. It needs to be so well sealed that nothing can get in. That's the whole point. And when we have horses with abscesses and cracks and problems, stuff's getting in where it shouldn't. And then what do? We see people with objects like paper clips and nails poking further down into damaged horn, cracks, weak areas, poking things into it. That's not a healthy way to deal with something that has got infection. So we need to have healthy walls. So that's number 1. Number 2, we want a really good, robust, functional frog. You pick up a hoof and you look at a frog and you see it's contracted, it's atrophied, it's puny, it's pitted with thrushy spots, it smells, it's got a deep central sulcus, it's painful to walk on. Not nice. It should be firm. It should be slightly rubbery. It should have good contact with the ground when the horse loads. And some horses, some ponies, they don't have the frog is a bit more passive than active. It just depends on the horse. But it shouldn't appear shrunken. It shouldn't appear mushy. It shouldn't appear overly dry. Although in the seasons, it's okay. They do appear to look more desiccated in very dry weather, opposed to where they in wet weather, where they look a little bit fuller. But either or, what we shouldn't be doing is we shouldn't be carving frogs, because that's a surefire way to making a horse feel sore in the back of the foot. You can't carve problems away. You've got to grow problems away. And a frog is really essential. It's covering that digital cushion. It needs to be in good health, because when that horse puts his foot down, he is not going to put his foot down and feel comfortable and do it and dissipate all that shock and have great circulation if the frog isn't doing its job, because it's unhealthy. Because a healthy frog is going to indicate a functional hoof mechanism, isn't it? Okay, so we've done 2 signs. Let me have a few more shout outs before I do any more. Hang on, where are we? I've lost you. Oh, that's Tim. Look, he's taking a rug away. We just went and bought a rug from some people are leaving France. Okay, where did we get to? Oh, we got to Louise. So Anita Pepper. Howdy Warriors, got my t-shirt, thank you. Oh, I'm glad about that. Send us a picture, put it up in the Phoenix group. Nikki Shawes is here. Hello from California. I hope you saw my reply to you yesterday. Don't worry, or the other day. Don't worry about that bit of sole that's extended over the lamellar wedge. That's all it is. Teresa's here. Hello from Sweden. Melanie's here. Hello from Slovenia. Hello. Do we know each other? It's good to see you. Louise is here. Hi, everyone. Another interesting live. Thank you. You're welcome. Sunshine says balance. These are things she looks for. Balance. Tight white line. Yes. No cracks. Yes. Healthy frogs. Yes. Low heels. Now we've got to be careful, haven't we? We've got to have, if we use that terminology, people will go, oh, they're cutting the heels too low. No, heels in the right place. So yes, heels. No fungus, no thrush, and healthy heel bulbs. Yes, all of those things. And maybe a while back, you didn't know to look for those things. You do now. You do now. Lydia says, good afternoon from Canada. Finally warming up. Minus 12 degrees C. Good. Good. Gonna resume trimming soon. Excellent. Excellent. I want to know all about that. Dawn says, a nice, clean, dry frog is something I look for. That's what you hone in on. Excellent. Very good. That's important. Melanie says, hello from Pennsylvania. I'll see you tomorrow, Melanie. Maggie Thrussell's here. Hi, everyone. Hi, Maggie. Deanna's here. Morning, all. Ramona's here. Hello from Spain. Dawn Lim's here. Also a smooth outer. What did you say? I know you're here. Also a smooth outer hoof wall and very little rings. Yeah, and that's not all. You might get good inch or two of good smooth hoof wall, and you think you've cracked it. Pardon the pun. Don't want crack hoof. We don't think we've cracked the hoof, and then you'll get a ring or two. But then everything above that is smooth again. That shows that things are ticking over quite nicely, and we're just having the odd change, and that will happen with changes of hay, etc., and things that go on around the horse in the seasons, of course. Jeanette says, breaks my heart, my riding center, to see the feet, high heels, stretched white lines. So we're looking for the opposite of this, aren't we? Or this is what we're looking for when we're looking for unhealthy hooves. Weak caudal hoof, that's the back of the foot, and frog, coat cans and event lines. And we see it everywhere, don't we? And then on top of that, we get continual, inconsistent, imbalanced hoof care. Jenny Ackerson's here from Sweden. Hello. Jill's here. Jill Broster. Jill from North Wales. Hello. Good to see you. Uta's here. Hi, everyone. I love that pink marigold hand. Heidi Watkins is here. Hey, hi. Heidi, it's good to see you. Sunshine says, happy birthday, Laurie. Yeah, see? Happy birthday for yesterday, Laurie, says Heidi Watkins. Stella says, happy birthday. There, see? Now you've got loads of birthday shout-outs and you deserve it. Happy birthday, Laurie. Gail says, hi. Teresa says, Laurie. Marianne Caffrey says, happy birthday. Loads of people saying happy birthday. Louise says, happy birthday. Dawn says, is it okay to trim flappy bits off the flog? Flappy bits off the flog. Yes, it is. But we have to be careful. Remember, I talk about that analogy with sunburnt skin when it's peeling off. You can go too far. You can trim little bits off. I was only talking about this today to a lady when we were on a call together, and there was a flap, and underneath it there was a load of muck and stuff stuck, and so she just took that off, and that's fine. But then we mustn't go chasing pathology. We mustn't get so deep into it that I'll just take a little bit more off. Just take a little bit more off. If it's flappy, it's going to be worn off. It's on its way to being worn off. But if you've got the foot up and you're about to trim, take the flaps off. You might as well. Nikki says, what about clearing the back of the collateral grooves when the frog blocks the exit? When the frog, good question. When the frog is going over the collateral grooves, that can be cleared. It can, but don't go too far in. But you can clear those bits there, because otherwise it's going to cover it up and it's going to be a trap. And we don't want that to be a trap. No, we don't. Camilla says, hi from Sweden. Hello. She saw it. Good. Marvelous. Sandra's here. Sandra Korn. Somewhat, and greetings from Costa Rica. I love that. I love that. You're all over the place. Jeanette says, the reason I fired my trimmer and started doing myself was that she carved the frog systematically. You're not thinking about it. And there's layers in the frog, like there's layers in the wall, like there's layers in the sole, and you can go too far. It's soft. Sharp knives straight into it can make a horse sore and foot sore over uneven surfaces immediately. You have to be very careful. You have to treat it with care. And we see it far too often. Carve, make it look pretty. Aesthetics, that's what we're going. That's what's happening. Tara says hi. Anne Chopra's here from Ontario. Hello. Sandra says, oh, some heat and grease. I think we've had that. Brilliant. Monica says hi. I should read them before I put them on the screen. That's what I should do, but it's not highlighted. Alexandra says hello from New Zealand, from Alex. Hello to you. And Fenella's here. Hiya. Brilliant. And Dr. Omar Alcador is here joining us on Instagram. Okay, so what else are we going to look for? We've identified, out of our five key signs, we've identified a strong wall, hoof wall, a good hoof wall, smooth hoof wall, free from cracks, a robust functional frog, firm, a bit rubbery, that should be nice and not infected, shouldn't have deep central sulcus, it shouldn't have thrushy, smelly frog. What about a sole? The sole should be as thick as that horse needs it. And unfortunately, what happens often with muscle memory trimming and not really thinking about the foot you've got in front of them, that sole, and I do have to say, I see this an awful lot with feet that are going to be shod. And the problem is when those shoes come off, if the same person is doing it, they're going to do the same thing to the bare hoof, and because they've not backed off. And they shouldn't do it in the first place anyway. And that's pairing that sole far too much, going beyond the hard sole plane. It's like people don't know when to stop. And of course, that is tricky in itself, because if you leave too much, it will get compacted. So it's about getting your eye in and understanding what needs to be left. When we have horses that have had their toes taken off and there's too much toe has been removed and sole thickness has been removed at the sole underneath P3, we now have to leave it alone, and we have to grow thickness under, or the horse has to grow thickness under the P3. So a good healthy sole that isn't full of lumps and bumps, that hasn't got a ton of bar material growing over it, it hasn't got compaction all around the toe and all around the seat of corn because it's not been trimmed correctly, but it should be as thick as that horse needs it. It should feel firm and not bouncing around under light pressure. And I've seen people trim, and they trim the sole, and then they press, and then they trim a bit more, and then they press, going beyond the hard sole plane, and they keep pressing until they start to feel some give, and then they back off. That's scalping a horse's foot. You shouldn't do that. That sole is there to protect those internal structures of the hoof and provide support during movement. It isn't there to be hacked away at, and unfortunately too many people do. So sole is important. Number 4, we want even growth and wear patterns. I had a very excited Sarah Lou messaging me this afternoon because she's got a horse that's had imbalanced feet for quite some time, and she's finally got it to a stage, the foot to a stage where it stays balanced in between trims. And she took a photograph and said, "This is pre-trim. I'm so excited because this foot is evenly wearing now." And it's so important that we keep toe wall on the ground. It's such a common thing to do, to take the toe wall off. And the moment that you do that, you have just disrupted the growth and wear patterns on the bottom of your horse's foot. Not a good idea. Those rings should not be divergent. If you see rings, and you know, it's a domestic thing, domestic horse thing, we do see rings. If you see those rings, they shouldn't be close together at the toe and further apart at the heel. They should be even. There should be no major deviations or distortions. So wear should be balanced, but without uneven pressure points or excessive flaring. That's not what we want. So uneven growth or wear is going to indicate these imbalances, improper trimming, and more so, in fact, than any underlying health issues. That's all to do with improper trimming. And the other thing that we're going to look for, number 5, I think top on my list, is a good connection in the white line, because that white line should be tight. It should be free from black gaps. It should be free from stones. It should be free from separation. A healthy white line should appear fairly clean and well connected between the sole and the overall hoof wall. It shouldn't be getting wider at some points and distorted, pushing into the sole. We shouldn't be taking the toe off and the walls off so much that there's just this laminae that you can see exposed. White lines are the glue, if you like, between the sole and the wall. It's made up of epidermal laminae and intertubular horn that's coming down from the dermal laminae. So that's how it connects and makes a firm white line. And it's not hard. You should be able to press on it, and it has a little bit of give, but it should only be a couple of mils wide. It shouldn't be 4, 5 mils wide, a centimeter wide. It shouldn't be uneven. The white line really is holding that hoof wall to the sole. And if we have separations, it can lead to infections, it can lead to abscesses, it can lead to structural problems, it can lead to cracks. So these are the 5 signs. The 5 signs. What did we talk about? We talked about the wall. We talked about the frog. We talked about the sole. We talked about growth patterns. We talked about a white line. So those 5 things I think are top of my list when I'm looking for health. That's what I want. And of course, bars comes in there. I sort of lumped, that's a good appropriate term, in with the sole. So these 5 signs, these things, we're working together. They are working together to create a strong functional hoof that supports your horse's movement and overall health. And if those aren't like I've just described, we've got problems. Houston, we have a problem. So what do you do if you spot an issue? Well, we've talked a lot about that in the days that were leading up to today. And when we get to day 365, goodness knows about all the topics we'll have talked about. And I'll say, go back and watch 365 lives and you'll find out. What should you do if one or more of those signs aren't quite right? Well, there's a simple plan. keep inspecting. Every time your hoof care professional comes, check, take photos. You don't have to daily check the hooves, but make sure that you are aware. Don't just leave it weeks and weeks and months before you pick your horse's foot up. And the only person that does that is the trimmer or the farrier or the vet. I don't want you picking it up and picking it out and fiddling and faddling. That's not what I mean. I mean, just be aware of what's going on. It's so easy when we get caught up in our lives. 3 or 4 weeks can go by and you think, oh, actually, where did that come from? I didn't see that crack appearing. Make sure that you have a professional who's working with you. If you haven't got a professional who will work with you, who is dedicated to only following the horse's natural constants, and there's so many of those, there's more of those that aren't, then come to us, the Phoenix group, the Phoenix page. Take the challenges, be part of the family. We'll give you support, because if you can't call them, you can call us. Evaluate your environment. Make sure that your environment is as challenging, really, for the feet. We want to challenge those feet. We don't want them to just be on soft ground all the time. We want to challenge the feet. We want them to have different surfaces. We want them to have abrasion. We want that to happen. So make sure you're always evaluating your environment. And it's going to change, isn't it, from season to season? Make sure that your diet and your nutrition isn't going like this all the time, because you're off to the agricultural store and that looks pretty like a pretty nice bag of feed. I might just buy that. That's convincing supplement. I think I might just buy that. And you're going over the top, hyper nutrition. It's the hay you need to get paranoid about, because that's the staple, the cornerstone of your horse's diet. That's what you need. That's the thing to get really stressed about if you can't get it. That's the hay. The hay. It's not supplementing. It's not going and getting bag feeds. It's getting the right hay that your horse is going to have access to 24/7 and staying consistent. If you stick to all of that and you stick to it regularly, I see people put tracks up and then they take them down, and then they put the horses in the middle, and then they put the horse back on the track, and then they stop giving them hay, and then they change the hay because they can't avoid it. But then they get wry and they think, oh, it'll be okay. And then 3 months down the line, when the foot is growing poorly, they're like, oh no, because what you feed now, you will not see the effects of that tomorrow. You'll see the effects of it a lot further down the line than that. Sometimes it takes months for you to see the effects of what's going on. That's oftentimes why horses' feet are really poor in the winter, because during the spring and summer, they've been gorging on all the things they shouldn't have. And it comes into winter and the feet just aren't robust enough to cope with the winter. So I think what I'm saying here is it's a proactive approach, isn't it, to hoof care? That's the best way to ensure long-term health and soundness. Okay. Charlotte's here. Oh, hang on a minute. Jeanette says parallel heel to toe growth. Okay, so across that heel to toe plane, dorsopalmar balance. Brilliant. Nikki Shaw says balanced coronary band. Good. So it's not lumpy bumpy at the quarters. Fenella says my ex-farrier told me to. Dawn says, pardon, Fenella, you were above her. Dawn says my ex-farrier told me to be careful not to draw blood when trimming the frog. As it, I've heard it though. There's nothing I haven't heard, believe you me. As if I would ever go that deep. I guess it's something he has done. Aston's here. Hello from South Africa. Hi, wonderful Charlotte. Good evening, everyone. Deanna says, shout out for the last It's Not Rocket Science lesson. I've already watched it twice. Everything bars. Share. Let everybody see it. Dawn says, these mini lives are awesome. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Alison Frank says, great mini live topic. Fundamental concepts to aim for via all the rest of good management with HM and TPW. Yes. Tara says, live number 22. Well done, Lindsay. You are amazing. Yes, 22. It's only 22. Wait till we're doing 364. Then I'll be celebrating. That means I have to do Christmas Day. And my birthday. I'll be at the training camp on my birthday. Melanie says, yes, so excited for tomorrow. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Tara says, I'm still hoping for a tight white line on Amira. It takes time. It takes time. Bri Hadfield's joined us in on Instagram, and Carly Kafka's here. Hello, hello, and a few others. All right, just the final takeaway for today. I just want to summarize the session, and I just want to talk about those 5 key things. Just summarize them. A healthy frog. We talked about that. We talked about smooth, strong walls, no cracks, no differences in texture. The periopal, don't get confused with that outer rubbery thin little bit of horn that's coming down. Sometimes you see more of it on cobs. Don't get confused with that. That's fine. We want a healthy sole. We don't want one that's full of compaction, that's got bars overlaid on it, so that it's eating into underneath there and causing infection. We don't want that. We want even growth. We don't want the growth to be all over the place, and we want a tight white line. Those are the foundations of your horse's soundness and comfort. So by recognizing those signs, guys, you can keep your horse sound, moving happily and confidently. So for today's mini challenge for you, I want you to take a moment to look at your horse's hooves and check for those 5 signs. Go and have a look for those 5 signs. What do they all look like? Remember them. Are there areas that are looking okay and areas that aren't? What needs attention? Share your findings, share them in the group, share them in the Phoenix group. You can even write on comments here, because I'd love to hear how your horse's hooves are doing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've been Lindsay Setchell. I am Lindsay Setchell. And throughout this amazing journey in the Phoenix Way mini live challenge, 365 days we're going to do, folks, I hope you've gained some valuable insights already, and I hope you're feeling empowered. I'm glad you're supporting me. I'm glad you're tuning in. I want you to be empowered to care for your horse's hooves, because you're the only one who really cares. I don't mean that nobody else cares. I care, but you're the one who really cares. It's your horse, and it's so important to you. So if you found today's session helpful, like, share, follow, subscribe, do all of those things. Stay connected. Remember, Hoof Health it's not just about the feet. It's about creating a stronger, healthier partnership with your horse, because you are becoming informed. So until next time, take care of yourself and your horse. And remember, the Phoenix Way is about rising stronger together. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care. See you.